When you first walk into the gallery, the first thing that really strikes you is the raw human emotion emanating from this sculpture. This is a work by George Segal from 1987, and he actually started working with live models and plaster casts in 1961. And this particular work is from a very celebrated series that he started in 1968 and ended in 1987, which is the year of this work. So he actually uses people to create these life-size sculptures that you see here included in this work, titled Abraham's Farewell to Ishmael. Using live models and plaster casts really allow the artist to capture that honest and raw human emotion. You also have an opportunity to see the artist's hand in a way that you might not in other types of sculpture, other mediums. So here you really see the way that he molds the plaster over the live model to have this final sculpture. The thing about this sculpture that also is very interesting is that it's painted plaster. So he deliberately chose these somber grays, these light grays, to really show us, the viewer, how we're supposed to feel when we encounter this work. This work has actually been in our collection since 2001, but this is the first time that we show the work after a complete restoration. So thanks to the Bank of America Conservation Project, this sculpture was actually able to undergo a complete restoration, which it desperately needed. When this work was initially constructed, it actually did not fit through the door. So when he was trying to get the work out of his studio, he actually had to cut the large stone at the very bottom in order to create two pieces, and that's how he was able to remove it from his studio. So ever since then, it's had that initial damage. So once it was conserved, the sculpture became one solid piece. The work itself is actually not particularly heavy either. It looks like a very, very heavy work. It has chicken wire on the inside. So it is, of course, quite difficult to install because it is a very delicate piece, but it's not too difficult to move through the space. When we were installing, we were able to shift it. We were able to move it when we needed to really get the angle right for our viewers, to be able to have people move around it. And the sculpture itself, despite being deceptively light, it still has that very, very heavy emotional resonance. It still feels incredibly solid. And within this gallery, it's finally being given the drama that it really deserves. When you first encounter the work, it's inevitable that you would feel some semblance of sadness. It's obviously a very moving piece. It's a very emotional piece. It's a work that all of our audiences have really had the opportunity to see themselves in. We've all said goodbye to a loved one. We've all encountered that sort of grief. So I find that a lot of our viewers, this really resonates with them. But part of the reason why is because of his technical use. It's really the way that he uses the models and the plaster cast to create that very realistic creation, that really realistic sculpture.